Thank you very much, and thank you to everybody. I too am going to focus my questions on the Alliance Group. If we accept that the definition or the Department of Education, their strategy is that DEIS schools are about delivering equality of opportunity in schools, then a child that is in a DEIS school, to me, should automatically, the funding should follow that they would require after school support, and indeed before school support. I think it should begin from early in the morning with breakfast to a full comprehensive after school report. So the NCS has obviously affected that, whether, albeit unintentionally. So the provision, as I see it, and as we're, let's say, articulating it in advocating with the Minister, is that this is about either a youth work support or else a childcare support. It doesn't matter where the funding stream comes from, as long as it's immediately plugged and the recognition of the need for it. And I suppose aligned to that is that only a couple of weeks ago, Minister Simon Harris launched a very comprehensive literacy, numeracy and digital literacy programme that I'm assisting in making sure we get out there, and it is possibly to the parents of these very children, therefore also underlining that they need the after school support or the homework club support, whatever it is. So I suppose I would welcome your thoughts and what specifically are your asks in light of next week's budget in this.
Thanks, Senator.
Yeah, I think, as you say, it needs to go somewhere, and the early years sector supports children up from 0 to 6. Youth work then starts at the age of 10 up to 25, but there's a real gap in the middle for after school services. So 6 to 10-year-olds don't have any statutory supports, particularly when you come to marginalised communities. So I guess we don't particularly mind where it falls, but we're asking for a specific sustainable after schools funding model that is particularly for after schools that are supporting young people at risk of educational disadvantage. So that is a gap. There is no supports there, and that is a gap that we are asking for. We're open to that. Might fall under youth work, that might fall under early years. We're open to that, but it needs to be specific to after schools. That would be our ask.
I think what's particular at the moment as well is that the sector is definitely in crisis. There are projects that have and will close. So there's kind of the two pieces to it. We need emergency funding now, and the funding that has been lost to be reinstated. Within the Dublin 8 Alliance, we have a project that's had to close its doors to 2 after schools, and we know now that all community after schools will close their doors within 2 years unless that specific sustainable long-term funding is found. And so that's the position that we're in. And long-term, as Amy says, we really want to work to position community after schools within a long-term sustainable funding source that is appropriate. And as we said, because we're not childcare, so it is not an appropriate funding source for us to be allocated in.
Okay.